Welcome to Vantage Point, where we bring you the latest news from Indonesia. Let's get into today's top stories. A major blackout swept across Bali on Friday, May 2nd, disrupting businesses and daily life. TV1 with the story.
After experiencing a power outage across nearly the entire Bali region, electricity supply has now returned to normal. The outage is suspected to have been caused by a disturbance in PLN's electricity transmission or distribution system. The power outage began on Friday evening and was fully restored by early Saturday morning. PLN stated that there were indications of a technical disturbance in its power transmission system, which caused several power plants to go offline. PLN denied that the outage in Bali was due to a cyber attack. The director of distribution at PLN stated that the company responded quickly by deploying hundreds of personnel to repair the electricity transmission system. Within approximately 30 to 45 minutes after the incident, the electricity supply began to gradually return. By midnight, around 1.6 million customers, or nearly 90% of those affected, had their power restored. PLN confirmed that essential services such as hospitals, airports, ports, and public areas had also regained electricity. The company reiterated that the issue was technical in nature within its transmission system and not the result of a cyber attack. PLN is currently conducting an investigation to determine the exact cause of the outage and is working to prevent similar incidents in the future.
With Bali's power now restored, further investigation is needed to find out the cause. However, questions remain about the island's growing infrastructure needs. As tourism continues to surge, could rising electricity demands trigger more problems down the line? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. We now turn to news about a missing tourist from Shanghai, China, who was reported missing while diving in the waters around Kakaban Island. Metro TV with the details.
A tourist from Shanghai, China, Zhang Xiaohan, who went missing while diving near Kakaban Island in East Kalimantan, has been found dead. Her body was recovered by rescue teams after 31 hours underwater and transported from Maratua Island to Tanjung Redeb by speedboat, a 4-hour journey. The recovery involved 8 divers. According to Nofian Hidayat from Berau's BPBD, the body was found at a depth of 77 meters, near the site of her last dive. Zhang was still wearing full diving gear. Her body was taken to Dr. Abdul Rifai Hospital and will be claimed by her family on May 6th. Zhang, a licensed diver, is believed to have exceeded the safe depth limit in an attempt to retrieve her dropped camera. The search used visual diving techniques with 30-meter visibility in calm, clear conditions. Her body was located roughly 50 meters from her last known position.
Our next story took place in North Jakarta, where a group of robbers posing as online prostitutes were caught by residents in Warakas. TV1 with the full story.
A gang of robbers posing as online prostitutes were foiled by residents in the Warakas area, Tanjung Priok, North Jakarta. In the early hours of Friday, hundreds of locals surrounded the perpetrators who tried to escape by climbing onto the roof of a house. A crowd raided a house on Warakas 8th Street, Tanjung Priok, North Jakarta, where they cornered a group of armed robbers believed to be luring victims with an online prostitution scheme. The situation escalated when one of the suspects was seen trying to flee by climbing onto the roof. The residents quickly kicked the suspect down. Unable to stop them, the crowd severely beat the perpetrator. Police struggled to move the suspects to the station, and warning shots were fired to disperse the crowd. 2 men identified by the initials L and D were arrested. Investigations revealed the robbery's chronology. The victim, a young man, had met a woman through social media and agreed to meet in person. When the victim left his room, 3 men held him at gunpoint and demanded money and valuables. The victim's cries for help were answered by nearby residents. The woman and the 3 young men are still being investigated for their involvement. Police reported that the 2 suspects were confronted by officers, leading to warning shots being fired. In addition to arresting the 2 suspects, police are still searching for a member of the gang who remains on the run.
Moving on to our next story, hundreds of thousands of workers are set to gather at Monas today for the May Day 2025 rally, where they will demand crucial labor reforms. Compass with the story.
Hundreds of thousands of workers are gathered at Monas, the national monument for the Labor Day commemoration on May 1st. Said Iqbal, president of the Confederation of Indonesian Trade Unions, KSPI, stated that 200,000 workers will participate in the May Day 2025 action in Jakarta. They will come from Jakarta, Banten, and West Java. The demonstrators are from various unions, including KSPI and the Labour Party. The event was scheduled to begin at 8:30 a.m. with entertainment from music groups, followed by speeches from labor leaders at 9:40 a.m. Western Indonesia time. Said Iqbal mentioned that this action is part of a simultaneous national commemoration involving over 1.2 million workers. 6 demands were voiced during the 2025 May Day action, including the elimination of outsourcing, fair wages, the establishment of a labor termination task force, the approval of a new labor law, the approval of a domestic worker protection bill, and the approval of an asset confiscation law. President Prabowo Subianto was scheduled to directly greet the workers at Monas and deliver a political speech at 10 a.m. Said Iqbal claims that 95% of the workers in his organization support Prabowo's leadership. The event also featured several national figures, including the Secretary General of the World Trade Union Confederation, the Speaker of the Indonesian House of Representatives, and cabinet ministers.
Our next story comes from Papua, where Indonesian police forces came under fire from armed rebels while protecting a human rights delegation during a rescue mission. Tribun Papua with the details.
In a high-stakes operation in Papua, Indonesia's elite Brimob unit engaged in a dramatic confrontation with an armed separatist group, known locally as the KKB. The clash unfolded as Brimob forces provided aerial support from helicopters to evacuate members of the National Commission on Human Rights, Komnas HAM, from a volatile area. The KKB has been involved in a prolonged conflict with Indonesian authorities seeking independence for the Papua region. This latest incident underscores the ongoing tensions and the challenges faced by human rights workers operating in conflict zones. The successful evacuation of Komnas HAM personnel highlights the critical role of coordinated military operations in ensuring the safety of civilians and officials in areas plagued by separatist violence. As the situation in Papua remains tense, such operations are vital for maintaining stability and protecting human rights.
I hope he hit what he was aiming at. That wraps up our coverage for today. If you found this report informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.